As the sun rises over the village, our Minecraft villager, Samuel, wakes up to another day of endless possibilities. Samuel stretches and peers outside, seeing his peaceful village slowly coming to life. Before starting his day, Samuel enjoys a simple breakfast, a freshly baked piece of bread. He grabs his tools from the chest, ready for his morning work at the village farm. As he heads to the fields, he greets his fellow villagers, each preparing for their own tasks. Samuel starts his morning by tending to the wheat fields, carefully watering and harvesting. With the harvest done, he replants seeds in the tilled soil, ensuring future crops. A wandering trader visits the village, offering unique items. Samuel trades some emeralds for seeds. He checks on the village animals, making sure they're fed and content. He throws some seeds to the chickens, watching as they eagerly gather to eat. After feeding them, he collects a few eggs. Maybe he'll bake later if he finds sugar and wheat. Next, Samuel visits the village blacksmith, who is forging a sturdy new tool for the farmers. He trades some wheat for a new iron hoe, which will make his work in the fields easier. He smiles as he watches a young villager playing near the well, reminding him of simpler times. Samuel catches up with his friend, discussing the day's work and news from nearby villages. He stops by the notice board, which has news about a possible monster raid at night. With the threat in mind, he helps fortify the village, putting up a new fence around the perimeter. To prepare for the night, he crafts torches to light up dark areas where monsters might spawn. He carefully places torches along the village paths, ensuring everyone can see when the sun sets. Before lunch, he stops by the library, helping the librarian organize enchanted books and scrolls. After a busy morning, Samuel takes a break to enjoy a simple lunch of fresh bread, an apple, and a glass of milk. As he rests, Samuel watches a nearby farmer plant rows of carrots, preparing for the next harvest. In the afternoon, Samuel helps gather wood, chopping trees near the village edge for building materials and fuel. After chopping, he carefully stacks the logs, ensuring the village has enough wood for fires and repairs. He climbs up to repair a roof damaged by the last storm, making sure it's sturdy for the upcoming winter. With his work done, he enjoys watching the village children play, their laughter echoing through the square. Later, he assists the village shepherd, guiding the sheep back into their pen for the night. He moves to the barn, feeding the cows hay and making sure they're comfortable for the evening. A traveling merchant arrives, and Samuel trades emeralds for rare seeds and shiny minerals. Among his new items, he finds an old, mysterious map. Perhaps it leads to treasure or adventure. Intrigued, he brings the map to the village elder, hoping for guidance on its meaning. Together, they study the map by candlelight, tracing routes and hidden symbols. The elder marks a distant spot on the map, a place where no villager has ventured in years. Excited, Samuel prepares a satchel with food and supplies, ready to explore at dawn. He steps outside and gazes at the distant mountains, feeling the pull of adventure. Before night falls, he lights torches along the village path, securing his route. That evening, the villagers gather in the square to hear important announcements. The elder warns of more frequent monster sightings, urging everyone to stay alert. Samuel double-checks his satchel, making sure he's prepared for the journey tomorrow. That night, Samuel stares up at the stars, wondering what secrets and dangers await him beyond the village. At dawn, Samuel sets off from the village, feeling a mix of excitement and nervousness. He walks through the dense forest, the towering trees casting long shadows in the morning light. Along the way, he notices unusual tracks on the ground. What creature could have left them? Samuel carefully crosses a small river, balancing on stones to keep his feet dry. He stumbles upon an abandoned campsite, a relic from a previous traveler, perhaps. Inside the broken tent, he finds a tattered journal filled with cryptic notes about a treasure. That night, Samuel reads the journal by the campfire, decoding clues and mysterious symbols. He lies down under the stars, wondering what secrets tomorrow will bring. In the misty morning light, Samuel packs his things, ready for another day of exploration. The path grows steeper, but he climbs with determination, driven by the thrill of discovery. He arrives at a mysterious clearing, surrounded by ancient stone pillars covered in moss. Each pillar has symbols carved into it, perhaps a clue or a warning. A narrow path leads between two mountains, guiding him deeper into the wilderness. He pauses to catch his breath, marveling at the vast landscape stretching before him. Suddenly, a deep ravine blocks his path. How will he get across? With a rope, he carefully crosses the ravine, every step a test of balance and courage. Beyond the ravine, he notices a strange glow emanating from a nearby cave. He cautiously enters the cave, his torch illuminating eerie walls and flickering shadows. Inside, rare crystals cast a mystical light, illuminating the dark cavern. Samuel gathers a few crystals as a keepsake, their glow lighting his path forward. The tunnel twists and turns, leading him deeper into the heart of the cave. An ancient mural covers the wall, depicting scenes of battles and buried treasures. He studies the mural closely, finding clues hidden in the drawings. Leaving the cave, Samuel blinks as his eyes adjust to the bright sunlight outside. In the distance, he spots a ruined tower atop a hill, beckoning him closer. He hikes up the hill, his excitement growing as he nears the ancient tower. At the base of the tower, he looks up, feeling small next to its towering walls. He steps inside, the crumbling walls echoing with the faint whispers of history. In a dusty corner, he finds an old treasure chest, covered in cobwebs. Inside the chest, gold coins and strange artifacts gleam, untouched for ages. Among the treasures, he finds a mysterious artifact etched with runes. He carefully places the artifact in his satchel, feeling its weight and power. Taking one last look around, he leaves the tower, the artifact securely in his satchel. He heads down the hill as the sun sets, casting a golden glow over the landscape. Samuel sets up camp beside a quiet lake, the water reflecting the fading light. He cooks fish over the campfire, grateful for a warm meal after a long day. He gazes at his reflection in the lake, thinking of the journey so far. The night sky sparkles above, filling him with wonder at the vastness of the world. A distant howl breaks the silence, reminding him that he's not alone in the wilderness. Securing his satchel, Samuel lies down to sleep, dreaming of treasures and mysteries. In the misty morning, he packs up, ready to return to the village with his findings. He crosses the forest once more, the familiar path leading him back home. At last, he sees the village in the distance, a welcome sight after days of adventure. As he enters, the villagers gather, curious about his journey and the treasures he found. Samuel shows the artifact to the elder, who studies it with awe and wonder. The elder shares a legend about the artifact, a tale of ancient powers and forgotten lands. Together, they place the artifact in the village museum, a symbol of courage and discovery. That night, the village celebrates with a feast, honoring Samuel's bravery and safe return. By the fire, Samuel recounts his adventure, the villagers listening in awe. He gazes at the artifact, proud of his journey and the legacy he's left behind. That night, he rests in his own home, the comforts of the familiar bringing peace. He wakes up feeling different, knowing his journey has changed him. As the sun rises, he looks out over the village, ready for whatever the future holds. He shares his map and journal with the young villagers, inspiring the next generation. Samuel entrusts the story of the artifact to the village historian, preserving it for years to come. Reflecting on his journey, he feels grateful for the memories he's made. He speaks with other villagers about possible future adventures, sparking dreams and ideas. He stores his satchel and gear, knowing someday he may explore again. Standing in the village square, he smiles, feeling at peace in his home. As he enters his house, he feels content, his adventure now a cherished memory.